Carville is, he's kind of a pompous, what. And occasionally I'm like, all right, he's right. Like he gets sort of where the heart of the country is in a way that, frankly, these elite snobs in New York City and LA and academia simply don't. But then you realize his deficiencies. I mean, he's getting up there too, right? Joe Biden isn't the only one. He's getting up there too. And he said something on MSNBC the other day, which caused me to say, wow, this guy really is like just talking out of his you-know-what, because he started to say like Tucker Carlson is completely controlling all of these appointments, blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not going to doubt that Tucker has influence. I think that Donald Trump actually likes to listen to a lot of different voices and get different opinions, and Tucker is for sure one of them, but he's not running the whole show. Nor is Elon, for that matter, because if Elon was, guess what? Scott Bessent wouldn't have become Treasury Secretary. Elon wanted Howard Lutnick, who went over to Commerce. So I think that at the end of the day, there's one person and one person only in charge of the appointments, and that is one Donald Trump. But that's not stopping Carville from like jumping into this conspiracy theory loop. Take a listen to him here on MSNBC. I watch so you don't have to. You get it?
Drive this. One person is driving this, I promise you, and it's Tucker Carlson. Okay, Tucker's an old friend of mine. And there's nothing that I see.
Still friends?
We hadn't talked to each other in a while, but I'm not. We were friends, but I'm not. But everything that I see is the same thing I heard in the green room in 2002. Okay? And J.D. Vance, Don Jr., Kash Patel was Tucker's business partner. I'm just telling you what's out there, okay? And Tucker is 40 times more clever than Steve Bannon. He's 40 times more connected. He's also very connected with Elon Musk and everything else. And he's a very bright man who should not be underrated. But I think he has more influence in this current administration, way more than Bert and Jordan had in the Clinton administration or any of the kind of wise men that were around. But Tucker is very, very, very powerful. And the Kash Patel pick proves that beyond any doubt at all.
Okay. So here's what's funny about this. Carville is past his expiration date because he used to co-host a show with Tucker Carlson. So you'd think he'd know him a little bit, right? And he might know his business partner. But apparently he's getting like his Patels mixed up. The Indian guys. You see, there's Neil Patel that Tucker went to college with and started a business with called Daily Caller, great website. And then there is Kash Patel, who didn't go to school with Tucker Carlson, went to UVA, on to Pace University Law School, was very much part of the Department of National Intelligence. He's got tons of qualifications, by the way. I don't think he's going to have a problem, believe it or not, getting confirmed. He has all the qualifications. I mean, they're terrified because he does have all the qualifications, and he is totally over the FBI. If there was any other way to say it, I would, but he is not a fan. He's just not a fan. But what's insane is the idea that Carville, who does theoretically know him, I mean, they were co-hosts together, is going to sit there and spew this nonsense to the point where he can't even tell his Patels apart. Like, that's how you know the guy is a goner. Which is too bad, frankly, for the Democrat Party. I mean, maybe other people thought this along the way, which is why he didn't have much influence in this election. I think if he'd had some influence, they might actually be in a better spot than where they are now. I mean, they were never going to win with Biden. They were never going to win with Kamala. The answer is they should have done what I said ages ago. Go back and look at the tape. I mean, I had entire shows titled this. Guys, wake up. Get rid of your candidate. Primary him. It is the only way you have any shot at 2024. Not that I want to do him any favors, believe me, but it's just amazing that they live so inside their heads, so inside that Morning Joe circus thing that they don't actually get outside enough to understand what everyday Americans are up against and how everyday Americans have no use for Joe Biden, think he's too old, which he is, think he's inept, which he is, think he's corrupt, which clearly, what do you think that pardon was about? Corruption. and have no faith in Kamala Harris and consider her, I'm just going to say it, one giant DEI hire. All right? So no one was interested in either of these candidates. It was never going to happen. Poor Carville. And he can't even remember, who's who. So they're kind of doomed. If they're looking to Joe and Mika to revamp the whole thing, I got news for them. They're really, really doomed. I'll tell you who's not doomed. Anyone who has been investing for the future and thinking about all this bonker stuff that's going on and how you actually look at it from an investment standpoint. In other words, those companies that maybe they don't want because they're not DEI friendly enough might actually just print money, and therefore you do actually want them. This is one of the reasons we founded 76 Research. My friend Rob Horden and I. Rob has been on Wall Street for many years, a couple of decades, and is a phenomenal stock picker. So we have really some exceptional research, if I do say so myself. You've seen some of the numbers in terms of what we've been able to do, how we've been able to beat the S&P. And I'm thrilled because we have a new guide out, investinmaga.com. This is totally free. So go there to investinmaga.com. If you want to invest in the portfolios themselves, we're not actually taking your money in any way. We are giving you all the information. So we give you the names. We tell you where we're buying them. We tell you if we sell them. 10 to 15 names in each of the portfolios. Take a look at that. Also, a quick shout out actually for one of the sponsors of the Trish Regan Show, and that would be Balance in Nature. Balance in Nature. Listen, it's December, right? This is Diet Crash time, and everybody's struggling. I get it, myself included, to try and stay healthy and not eat too many sweets around this time. So go to balanceinnature.com. This is what I use, and the vitamins I take. I use the fruits and veggies, the gummies. They're good. They're gluten-free. For those of you that care about that. And you can use code word Trish, TRISH, or call them at 1-800-246-8751, 1-800-246-8751.